This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
The AGF says the protest would amount to contempt of a restraining order of a National Industrial Court, which was issued in June last year. This order stops the NLC and the Trade Union Congress from embarking on any industrial action or strike of any nature. Though Mr. Fagbemi insists that the planned protest is designed to compel government to accede to the demands of organized labor, and therefore such an action qualifies as an industrial action which comes within the ambit of the restraining order. It is important to note that this isn't the first time organized labor is embarking on a nationwide protest despite this existing court order. For more on this, we're joined by Bolanle Olugbani. Mr. Olugbani is a legal practitioner. Good morning and welcome to the conversation.
Good morning, thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on. Let's start off with this legal aspect. The AGF insists that if this protest goes on, it is tantamount to industrial action. Speak to us on this. Is he right or wrong?
Well, a protest, as the word connotes, is different from a strike. A strike is an industrial action. A protest is a right under the Nigerian Constitution, particularly Section 40 of the Nigerian Constitution, which says that every Nigerian has the right to peaceful assembly, to assemble freely, and to associate with other persons. And in particular, they may, by that assembly, express themselves in a peaceful, lawful, and legal manner, and that does not amount to a strike. It's not an industrial action.
Yes, but with that in mind, the federal government has been referring to the industrial court that bars the NLC from carrying out this particular activity. What do you think the NLC's next move would be? Go ahead with this or listen to the federal government?
Well, the federal government is the executive arm of the government of Nigeria. Judiciary is the one that interprets the law. So was the order obtained ex parte, that is without the other party being heard? Secondly, was the order being an ex parte order, does it last beyond 7 days? Is there a substantive interlocutory order? And were the labor unions, were they served with the order of the court? So if labor has been careful or deliberately inventive about avoiding service of the court order or serving of even court processes concerning the matter between the federal government and labor, it means that labor has not come under the jurisdiction of the court. For a court to assume jurisdiction, there is the legal aspect of it, that is the law that confers jurisdiction on the court, and then service of processes is the other side, the other 50% of a court assuming jurisdiction. If you have not been served and you are not a party to a suit, the court cannot exercise jurisdiction over you. So I don't know what is going on in between, but I think technically labor must have an escape valve.
Mr. Olugbani, beyond the legal aspects, there's also just the optics of political influence, if you like, involved here. The Trade Union Congress has come out to categorically distance themselves from this protest. They, in fact, even say that the federal government is making steps towards upholding the MOU that they signed. How do you see this playing out for the NLC and just the efficacy of their 2-day protest?
Well, you know that even two children of the same father and mother cannot have the same views. Even twins that came out same day, same time from the mother's womb cannot have the same views. TUC has the right to its own views. NLC has the right to its own views. And their approaches to attaining whatever objective they've set out as a labor union, may vary. And so each is exercising its own right to its own position, to its own view. And as such, one should not be held, against the other. So what I think is that it is better for labor to harmonize their positions and to have a common purpose and agenda. Well, if they are speaking from two different angles, it does not look good for the attainment of the welfare and the defending of the rights of the people. So they are within their rights to differ, and they must have concrete evidence to have its members believe in them. If NLC decides to go ahead and do what it's doing, then there must be a reason for it.
Mr. Olugbani, thank you very much for speaking with us this morning.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.